alright? Okay. So tonight I come. Let me just. So it's gonna, you know how I do it, dynamic, you know. Okay. So I want to talk to you guys about promises, okay? So I promise if you guys behave and, you know, pay attention and work with me, I promise I'll try to make it fun and sweet and to the point and short. You guys want that? Yes? Is that a promise? What happens if I don't keep it? What will you guys do to me? You'll beat me up? You'll smack me around? Alright, what happens if I keep my promise? What will you guys do to me? You'll hug me? You won't trust me if I keep my promise? More paying attention. Okay. So, I'm here to talk to you about God's promises. He makes a bunch of promises in this Bible, right? Bible. He makes a lot of promises to a lot of different people. And in every single promise that he does, he keeps it. In the Old Testament, the promises he says, they're called covenants, which is a promise, which is a deal. And I was upstairs in the Santissimo, and I was trying to think about what I should talk to you guys. And me dio el libro de Exodus, which is it's like one of the first, I think it's the second book in the Bible, it's the second one. And it talks about, you know, the promise he gives to el pueblo de él. You guys know su pueblo, the chosen people? Who knows who they are? Yeah, the Israelites, right? The Jewish people, right? Okay, so they are the chosen people. It's su pueblo bendito. Like forever, ellos son el pueblo bendito de Dios. They're the chosen people, and what did he give them? What did they promise them? Does anybody know? Land. Okay. And what is that land that we know of? What's it called today? Israel. Okay. So he promised Abraham, right? He was the founder. He was the main guy. He was like 110 years old when he had his first boy. And his wife was like 90. Imagine right now, like, we now were our grandparents and all these people, they lived until what, like 100. But in the Bible, Moses lived until 150 years, 140. Imagine living 140 years. You see not only your grandchildren, but your great-grandchildren, your great-great-great-grandchildren. I don't want to live that long, but, you know, if God wants me to live 150, I guess I will. But he was like 100 years old when he had his first child. And, and his wife was like 90. And he told them, I promise that your descendants, your children's children, I'm going to promise you guys lands as far as you can see. And he described how big it is. And it's basically as big as Israel. It's big as New Jersey. Imagine it. It's pretty much as big as New Jersey, the state. And he says, I will give you descendants as many as the stars. So we come from him. So, but he told el pueblo le dijo, okay, I will promise you this land. It will be fertile. I will give you as much crops. You guys will be forever rich. You guys know, like, Jewish people are always rich. They're like the ones with the money. To this day, they're still rich. And that's the stereotype. So, to this day, they're still really, really rich. But the promise is, you have to keep your promise that you will obey me and follow all my rules. And what are the rules that he gave them? The famous rules, you know. 10 what? Okay, they're right there if you don't know them. Turn to your left, right? Yes. To your right, which is my left. Alright? You see that little wooden thing right there? It says 10 Commandments, baby. So those things are like 7,000 years old. And he gave it to Moses. And he said, if you guys keep he cumplió su promesa? Yeah, right, because Israel is still there and Jewish people still live there. Okay. Huh? And they're still rich. Okay. So I'm not telling you guys the story just so you guys know the background of the Jews, right? No, because, it's kind of boring, history lesson. But I want you guys I'm going to read you a passage from Genesis 15:1, and it says, "Do not be afraid, Abraham. I am your shield." Alright? He's telling him, don't be afraid of what I'm going to give you. Because Abraham was kind of afraid. He was like, okay, I have to lead like 700 people to this place. Right? Moses is also afraid. And he was like, and he continues to say, your reward shall be very great. So imagine I tell you guys, I'm going to give you 10 rules right now, right? I will promise you great things. I will promise you like $1 million, right? I will promise you $1 million, and I promise you that when you die, you will go to heaven. You only have to follow 10 rules, right? Your 10 rules are going to be, you have to obey me. You can only worship me as your God. And I give you tons of rules. And if you break them, right, there will be horrible, horrible consequences. Horrible consequences. So if the Jewish people are like, okay, like 10 rules, don't kill. Okay, the 10 commandments, like obey your parents, worship the days of the Lord, don't steal. Those are easy, right? And they didn't do it. And you guys know Noah's Ark, he washed away. And Jeremiah, he was a young prophet. And he killed all of Jerusalem because they were sinning. So I was reading this last night and I was like, this sounds really familiar to what's going on now. Right? Katrina. Mardi Gras. Okay, Katrina, right? It's in where? Louisiana, right? That's where it happens, around the south. What goes around there? New Orleans, right? That's in Louisiana. What goes around? Do you guys know what Mardi Gras is? It's like a week before Lent, and all they do is drink, and then they can show me some movies to get some bees, right? You guys know. Don't have to be never seen that TV. Okay, right? What did he do to Katrina? The levees broke. He washed away the sin. That's what he's doing to our generation. That's what he's doing to our world. He told us, ustedes son mi pueblo, not only the Israelites, but all of us. You guys aren't my chosen people. And tonight he's telling that to us. St. Charles, youth group, all the miracles that he's done for us. The first youth explosion, it was just a dream for us. Half of you guys weren't even here when we started this youth group of 15 kids. It was a tiny little baby circle. And half of the time we had no leader. We would just come down to the basement for like a month and just sit here, waiting for something to happen. All of a sudden God gave us a vision, a promise to this youth group. Él nos dijo, mi pequeño rebaño, mi pueblo escogido. Él ya nos escogió. Old people of 110. He chose kids of 15, 13, 20, 18, 17, high school, middle school kids. Us. He chose us to go and redeem this world. And the captains, they're not here just so they can march and so they can shout and look stupid in front of you guys.